Hello, beautiful people. Chat! Okay. Listen, I was just fucking chilling. Like, just, you know, my sleep schedule is a little bit all over the place, so I was just watching some Netflix, alright? I was just vibing at my computer. And I just get this DM. Okay? And yeah, I'm gonna leak DMs right now. I just wanted to show you this. Dude, what the fuck? What the fuck, man? Can you explain in Genshin terms? Not really. Because there's straight up no equivalent to this in Genshin, okay? Because, like... Okay, in Star Rail, instead of 5 pieces, you have 6. But you can't do off pieces, right? And there's 2 different types of artifact sets. There's the first 4 that you get the same way as you get in Genshin through basically, like, relic domains, whatever. And then there's the last 2, which you get in Simulated Universe, which is their, like, roguelike mode-ish, whatever, right? But the thing is, the last 2, right? Because it's only 2, and because there's a lot of sets that are fucking worthless for that, right? It's kind of a pain in the ass to farm for. Especially because it's basically... That set that they have is the equivalent of VV. In the sense that it's really, really fucking good to have. But the other set in the domain is fucking worthless. On top of that, ER is really rare, and speed is the rarest substat. And they got a total of... It's not actually the maximum amount of speed that you can get. But they got 4 out of 5 rolls from... Basically, it started as a 3-liner instead of a 4-liner. But all the rolls were max rolls. That's... It's basically the equivalent of a VV flower with 110 EM. If flowers were... No, you know what? It's basically the equivalent of an EM VV goblet with 30% ER. That's the closest equivalence I can think of. Alright, Chad. Hi. I have this fucking lemonade thing, and it's the sweetest, most sugar-filled thing I have ever tasted. So I'm in a predicament because it's too sweet, it's not really enjoyable to drink. But it's also in front of me. And so, you know, it's also in front of me. So, it is what it is. Put water in it to dilute it? I don't think it's gonna be good if it's diluted, because it doesn't have, like, flavor, it's just sweet. They're gonna make it less sweet, but it still won't be good, you know? So I don't think it's gonna, yeah, I don't think it's gonna help. Alright, chat. I guess this is what we start with today. Do you drive manual or automatic car? Please tell me you drive manual. Why? Why would you drive manual when you can drive automatic? Ooh, I like pretending like it's 1943. Get over yourself. Next, you're gonna tell me you do your laundry manually and you don't have a washing machine.
Rain outlines your fate. Witness the power. Game's up. Fun's over. Quietly now. Go in!
Yeah, these guys have resistance too high for this to be better than the Zhongli team.
Gotcha.
Full. The grand jape of the turning. Please be attacked with some crit. I'm pausing. Hey yo, I'm pausing. It's attack with some crit. Can it be attacked with more crit? No, it can't. But that's okay. As long as it rolls into crit, it's good. Stop that. You're making me sad. Stop that. It's okay, chat. The displeasure of drinking this way too sweet lemonade is distracting me from the displeasure of rolling that artifact. Wait, that's actually so smart.
Let's light it up. Everybody stick.
How is it alive?
Laid bare. Wind strike.
Okay, I've got my trusty lemonade at the ready. That's worth locking. Girls credit could be good.
Overruled. Teamwork is Wind strike. Laid bare.
Understandable. Have a nice day. I guess I'll lock that. I guess a burning set could be useful in Nintendo characters in the future, maybe.
Let's light it up. Everybody stand. Wind strike.
Your Arlecchino build is top 3% on Akasha? Is it? Pog? I think that's just because a lot of people just haven't geared their Arlecchino properly. Akasha. They added an Arlecchino leaderboard? Huh. Is it even my best build for her? I forgot.
Staring into my eyes is ill-advised.
It is not.
Promise you'll like what you see.
Cause it's with the attack sands, and my attack sands are just worse.
Laid bare. Solidify.
Oh, you idiot.
Huh? I'm going in.
Into the wind.
Overruled.
It's a video where if you jump E with Kaza at the beginning, the middle trolls won't dash. Huh. Well, that's not true.
Let's light it up.
Order guide you.
Teamwork is strength.
Jump E? Oh.
Transfixed.
Wind strike.
Wow. Oh shit. Chat. This could be it. This could be it. I wanna try this first though. Oh no, that was funny.
Solidify.
Huh? I'm going in.
Oh, I forgot to start with the E.
This is order.
Wind strike.
Transfixed.
Maybe I'm just getting the timing wrong. We gotten any good pieces? I got a great piece. Just on the wrong fucking set. Right. I'll get it to 20, whatever. Just get it over with. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. I'll take that. Holy, I will take that. That's so cope. I mean, what I'm using right now is this. It's like 2 less crit rolls. But it has a flat... Yeah, I guess it is kind of cool. Eh, whatever. Did I get a single crit main stat circlet? I don't think so. Oh, that's sad. How many 4-star ones did I get? Just... Oh, wait. I think I foddered most of them. Oh, of course, I foddered most of them. I have fucking 3 left and one of them is crit. Yeah, okay. Sure, man. This game is ass. This game fucking sucks. Whatever. Let's go do the vibro crystal thingy. Okay. Wait. What? That's not balanced. What the fuck? What do you mean? Huh? 66% death shred? Jesus Christ, these people are insane. Okay, one of the interns must have fucking made these.
Stray clouds converge.
Okay. -3 particles, sure.
Worthless. Here. Worthless.
Bro, why did they take so long to spawn? What the fuck?
Have fun with this gift. Yoo-hoo! Let the world collide.
Skyward.
Mobile experience? Basically, yeah. But why?
Worthless. Here. Worthless.
Gears of the storm. Time to shine.
Stray clouds converge.
Evil conquering. Here.
Oh, I didn't hit this one. Fuck.
Here. Worthless.
Truth repeats itself.
Okay, It's actually consistently taking a while for this specific wave to spawn.
Make way.
Why is that? That's so weird. Oh, fuck, I thought it was dead.
Have fun with this gift. Let the world collide.
Yeah. Seize the skies.
Evil conquering.
High energy.
Worthless. Worthless. Here.
Ooh, 200k. That's kind of
Here's
fog.
the storm. Time to shine.
Yeah. Stray clouds converge.
Disappear. Worthless. Here. Worthless.
Truth repeats it. Let my name echo in song.
Make way for
Lament.
No! Oh, I didn't lament in time. Okay.
Everybody stand back. Hey-ya! Booba, get overruled. Teamwork is dreamwork. Eat this. Nice and spicy.
transfix.
Everybody stand back.
Wind strider.
You're toast. At the frying pan.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting for sure.
Overruled.
Oops.
I'm going in. Nice and spicy. Hey-ya!
Oh, fuck, I'm not getting the buff.
Laid bare.
Everybody stand back. At the frying pan. You're toast.
I think I might have not snapshot.
Transfix. Wind strider.
Let's light it up. Teamwork is Booba. Eat this.
Overruled.
Everybody stand.
Yeah, this is kind of a... Really?
You're toast.
This is kind of a funny one.
Going in.
Laid bare.
This is kind of a funny one. Yeah, bro, let's just give 66% defense shred. Yeah, sure. What could... Damn. That's kind of crazy. Why don't you play Sino Nahida in this multi... Wait, are they really trial characters? No, they're not. You're lying. Oh, no, they are. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Oh, yeah, I don't have to do... Wait, no, I do have to... Aww. I gotta do 2 commissions? What the fuck? I hate commissions. Regulatory issues. Yeah, that's kill enemies. That's fine. What do you think of the new game mode coming next patch? It looks like it's both too easy and too cringe. It looks like it's trivial to complete if you have the units built for it because it's just too easy. But it also looks like having the units built for it is straight up just a massive fucking sink in terms of investment. No, my bond of life! Fuck.
Gather.
Transfixed.
It'll be easy at first because it's new. It'll get way harder as time goes on. I don't know if that's even good, because, like... 18 characters is too many characters to expect the average player to build to begin with, right? Let alone 18 restricted characters where the condition that restricts them change every time it rotates. Where in order to always be able to have 18 built characters, you're going to effectively have to build 40 of them. They give 8, no. They give 6, but generally those are the characters that are... Like, you look at the trial characters for the upcoming one, right? Chevreuse doesn't really require to be very built to begin with, so her being trial versus you having her, not much of a difference. Then Arlecchino, a bunch of people are gonna already have her, so that her being on trial doesn't do anything. So that this 6 characters trial, like, it's not that you only have to build 12. Because you can't know what's going to be on trial in the next one, right? And if it's a unit you already built, then, oh, well, sucks to be you. And if it's 6 units you already have and you've already built, then, yeah, you need to have 18.
Adventure time.
3 are free from Genshin to all beginners. Okay, Lisa and Amber are not real units. You can make an argument for Lisa, not for Amber. And that's why it's endgame. Well, I am of the opinion that it is incredibly fucking lazy to just say, oh, well, it's endgame, what did you expect? About content that is designed around forcing you to pull a fuck ton of characters. Like, no! They can design endgame that is not an incredibly heavy incentive to pull for more characters on the gacha system. They probably won't, because it's a gacha game, and that fucking sucks. And that's the point. You shouldn't just be like, well, it's endgame, this is what it is. Like, no! This is a bad thing. This sucks. Isn't the new Abyss similar to what Wuthering Waves is doing with their endgame? What do you mean by that? That incentivizes me to build more characters, that's good. Yeah, but like the thing is, an incentive to build more characters in a gacha game is also an incentive to purchase more characters. And that's always gonna suck for free-to-play players. 18 characters is easy for a 1+-year-old account. Again, it's not 18 characters. It's like, you need to have 18 characters no matter what the restriction is. Now, right now, the restriction is specific elements. But next time, it's probably going to be different elements. And then the time after that, maybe only characters from Mondstadt, like the leak that we had, right? And then maybe only polearm characters, only whatever, right? And the point is, it's not 18 characters. It's 18 characters every time, with a lot of them not overlapping. More realistically, it's probably something like 40. Which is not good. Now, if each of those characters had a weak-ish level 70 town level 6 trial build available to you, then I wouldn't mind it nearly as much, where you still have an incentive to pull and build your characters, because they'll be a lot stronger if you do. But it's not inherently necessary to pull all the fucking characters to be able to play the mode. Right?
Off we go.
How do you incentivize building more teams without asking you to pull for them? Instead of forcing you to only use specific character, they can give buffs that overwhelmingly benefit certain units more than others.
Off we go.
Give every character an Amos bow-like effect, where the further they are from the target they're damaging, the more damage they do. Bam! You've just made an Abyss that is a pseudo-restricted to ranged characters, without actually preventing you from using non-ranged characters. You've created an incentive to build and use ranged characters, without making it so you have to fucking build 18 of them. You know?
Let's light it up.
Laid bare.
Adventure time.
But at the end of the day, my biggest disappointment with the mode is not how unfriendly it is to more casual players and free-to-play players. Like, obviously, that fucking sucks. But it doesn't even affect me directly, right? Like, at the end of the day, I have an account that is perfect for something like this. I pull for most characters C0, and I level up almost all of my characters. Right?
Off we go.
Like, I have an account that effectively is perfect for a mode like the one that's coming out. The issue that bothers me personally the most is that it's too easy and there's no skill expression. Like, skill expression will probably be in being able to do it with only trial characters and mostly trial characters. There's not really skill expression in that. Like,
Adventure time.
The biggest issue is basically just, like, I've seen some of the buffs that you get, because you get buffs, right, in between your fights, and they just don't do shit, right? So you have incredibly irrelevant, like, buffs inside of the thing that effectively makes the whole New Abyss, the whole, what is it called again? It's not tower, it's, what do they call it again? Theater, right? Yeah, it makes the whole theater effectively just overworld combat. But you can't play your favorite units, right? Like, that's straight up what it is.
Off we go.
The enemies aren't really more tanky. You're not really doing more damage. You're effectively just playing overworld with shit units. And that's fucking tragic. That is tragic as fuck. Now, I did see that, apparently they buffed the enemy level, so that might be enough to make it feel a little bit more challenging, at least. But I don't think it will, right? The difference between level 90 and level 95 is not that insanely big, right? It's, it depends on which enemies. Some enemies scale more with levels, but
Benny's adventure team, assemble!
oh my god, did I not? Aww.
Or not.
Okay, let me save this sheet somewhere.
Oh, wow.
Browse.
Where did that come from?
Yeah. Alright, so a type 1 enemy, so like an old ass enemy, for example,
Benny's adventure
right, from level 90 to 95, has about 14% more HP. A type 2 enemy has about 22% more HP. It's not that big of a difference. Can you explain what an enemy type is? It's effectively meaningless.
Let's go find some trash.
It's effectively meaningless in-game. It's just basically something they have in their back end. But some enemies scale more with levels than others, right? Basically, most of the enemies that came out since Inazuma are type 2 instead of type 1. And type 2 just means that their HP curve is more steep, right? Effectively, they made, and it's actually one of the and I like talking about this because it's one of the examples where you can really tell that there are some people at Hoyo that know what the fuck they're doing, right?
Ow.
When they released Inazuma, they realized, well, it's been a whole ass basically year since this game came out. If these new enemies are as tanky as Midi-Churls and Hilly-Churls,
Come on.
the players that have been playing since day one are gonna be bored as fuck fighting them. But if you just make them significantly tankier, new players that
Ow.
go, you know, do the Mondstadt quest, do the Leo quest, and then go to Inazuma, are gonna be hit with a brick wall that prevents them from progressing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make it so that at low levels, at low world levels, the enemies in Inazuma have similar HP to the enemies in Mondstadt and Leda.
Benny's adventure team.
But at higher world levels, the enemies in Inazuma will be stronger.
Or not.
What that did effectively is it made it so that people that were already AR-50, that had been AR-50 plus for a long ass time when Inazuma came out,
Good things come to those
didn't
who
find
work hard.
the new enemies to be completely trivial.
Anyway, knowing my luck, the opposite is probably true.
Whereas new players didn't get completely fucked by the same enemies, right? And it's very basic design, right? But it's still, I can appreciate it, you know? But yeah, anyways. Someone asked between 95 and 100. I guess we can have the same thing. It's a much bigger difference. Right, so between 90 and 95, 13%. Between 95 and 100, 32%. And that's type 1. Type 2 enemies,
No one's joined me on an
it's 22 and... Oh, it's 22 as well for level 100. Huh, interesting. I didn't actually realize that. Interesting. Hello. I haven't tested Arlecchino C2 yet. I'm sorry. Started just before version 3.0 as a new player, I only had one struggle, beating Child in the Archon quest, which I solved by creating artifacts of my characters. After that, everything in open world was easy. Yeah, but a lot of people just play casually and, like, don't really bother with optimal stuff. Or... I mean, there's a lot of different systems in Genshin, and it's pretty intimidating for a new player. Like, when you look at actual, like, casual new players, a lot of them just don't even have artifacts. Like, no artifacts equipped. Did you watch Nick duo with Lutud yesterday? Damn. I've been asking him to play League with me for years. Nah, that's just fucked. That's the kind of friend he is, but it's fine.
Off we go. Adventure time.
Did you watch the new TGS video? I did not. What's it about? Could Arlecchino be the best DPS in Genshin?
Don't wait around.
No.
That's what they say anyway. Knowing my
Good
luck,
one.
the opposite is probably true for me. Off we go.
I mean, hey, high con? Sure.
Adventure time.
It's an epic bait. Look at the comments.
Guys.
Oh, ow. Where did that come from? Benny's adventure team, assemble! Oh. Or not.
Hmm. The one with 90 or so replies? Wait, what? Jesus Christ. Is Tomorrow's Abyss new lineups? Yep. Yep. Is she the second best after Neuvillette? No. So again, right? It's something I've talked about a lot in the pre-release. She is a character that is incredibly misleading in terms of how good she actually is, right? Because her first hit is her biggest. And I mean, it's mainly because of that, right? Like, the difference in damage between her first hit and her last hit is fucking massive. And there are a lot of situations where front-loaded damage is good, right? Don't get me wrong. And I definitely do agree that there are a lot of situations where her front-loaded damage paired with rotational flexibility makes her a strong contender for one of the best carries in the game, right? But I think a lot of people just look at the number, the highest number they get, and are like, oh my god, this character is doing 120k on their normal attack? Wow, how broken. And, like, don't get me wrong, she's not bad. And one of the reasons why I think she was received so well is because people that don't really pay too much attention to meta stuff are just gonna see the big number and gonna be like, wow, pog big number. And people that actually do, like, care about the meta stuff generally have much more optimal teams where they're a lot closer to being able to actually speedrun stuff. And so you end up in situations where the people that aren't focused on meta are too delulu to notice that she's not that strong for them. And the people that are focused on meta realize that she is very strong for them, right?
Adventure time.
Or in other words, for meta-focused players, she performs above expectations or above baseline, whatever. And for non-meta-focused players, she gives the impression that she does. So everyone's gonna react to her somewhat positively, right? The only people that are gonna react to her negatively are gonna be people who care about meta stuff but suck at the game.
Adventure time.
And these are still important players, right? But they don't represent a very large portion of the community. Is Conan the opposite since it's so many small numbers? I don't know, honestly. Who, according to you, is the second best DPS then? That's a good question. I feel like I feel like, actually, you know what? I don't even think it is a good question. Unironically, I think that the question, who's the best DPS, misleads a lot of people into thinking that having a dedicated DPS is a lot more important than it actually is.
Off we go.
And don't get me wrong, there's definitely a lot of characters that are very strong on-field carries. A lot more now than there used to be, that's for sure, right? And like, I think Neuvillette is definitely a bit of an aberration. Because I don't think a character should do as much damage as the other top teams if they have all the utility and the invulnerability and whatever in the world, right? But I think outside of him, there's no carry that I would, like, strictly recommend over teams that don't necessarily have dedicated carries. I don't know if you already mentioned it, but what's her optimal combo? What, Arlecchino? It's generally just N3 dash. But it doesn't really matter. Like, unironically, there's not much of a difference between N3 dash and just going full attack combo. I think that canceling after the 4th hit feels nice, so that's generally what I do. And there is literally no reason for it other than feels crafting. It feels nice. Which units are considered unbalanced regardless of them being good or bad? I think that's a much more difficult question to answer nowadays. Because the units that I would have considered unbalanced a long time ago have gotten a lot of competition, right? Hoyos release a lot of units of similar power level to them. I think the only 2 units that, like, right now I would say are definitely, like, actual balance issues in a way that actively harms their ability to make, to design units in the future is probably just Xingqiu and Neuvillette. Oh, I guess Nahida as well, that's fair. Xingqiu, Neuvillette, and Nahida. No, Bennett? No. I don't think so anymore. Like, Bennett is one of those units that I used to consider unbalanced. But I think that they've done a good job of releasing specialized supports that are about as good as Bennett in a lot of different teams. That makes his power level a lot less of an outlier. His versatility paired with his power is still definitely a bit of an aberration, but not nearly as much. I'm definitely a little bit worried that Farina teams in the future are going to become a lot more of a problem, though. Because I think that Farina limits design space for healers a lot. In the sense that they already are a problem. I don't really necessarily agree. I think maybe to some extent with Xianyun a little bit. Why is Wanderer's best team Farina Bennett? Like, what the... No, it's not. What... Farina Bennett and what? Farazan? Or something else? Because Farina Bennett, Farazan, Wanderer is not a real team. Farazan? Yeah, that's not a real team. That is a fake-ass team, if I've ever heard one. Jesus.
Adventure time.
Yeah, just like Farazan, Farina, Mika. It's fake as fuck. But as I was trying to say, Farina makes it really hard to make healers that are good on their own. And I could very well see a future where, you know, I mean, we've already seen it with Xianyun to some extent, where, like, units that actually do synergize with Xianyun pretty well. You look at what Farina provides for those teams, and it's actually just fucking insane, right? And I worry a little bit that as time goes and they release more healers, we run into more problems like that would elevate Farina into an actual balance issue. I don't think that's really the case right now, because I think that there's just not that many healers that actually do that.
Off we go.
Most good teams have healers. Yeah. But that's not the point I was making. The point I was making is most teams with healers are sacrificing something to get their healing.
Ow.
The biggest exception being Bennett, but I'd say that Bennett's like anti-synergy with Farina makes it so that while Farina is still a good option because she's just strong enough that even with a single target healer, she's still going to be good.
Adventure time.
I don't think she's as good of an option, right? Because obviously she's just a lot worse when your healer is Bennett than when it's another healer, right? But I think the main reason why Farina is so often played over Yelan is that teams that want an off-field Hydro unit, right? They're... When you look at the Pyro teams, right? You're generally either gonna need a lot of Hydro up or, like, basically none at all. You know? There's no, like, middle ground. Or there's not a lot of middle ground for characters that, like, would want a bit more Hydro up than what Farina does. Where Yelan would be enough, but Farina isn't, right? There's just not that many of those. And I think there should be more. Because a lot of Yelan's power budget is in her Hydro application. So obviously... Yeah. How have your thoughts changed on Farina and Arlecchino teams? I did some testing on it off stream yesterday. Because there was a Discord quest to stream 15 minutes or 30 minutes, whatever, of Genshin on Discord. And I was like, you know what, I might as well do that. And it was unpleasant. It was not fun. I did not like it. Yeah, it was not. I did not like it. I did not enjoy it. I would not recommend it. What teams have you tried? I just did Shenyan. It felt awful. Like, it felt like the Hydro app wasn't really enough to sustain. Even when I only jumped to dodge shit, I would lose Vates. Because Verena just wasn't really enough. And I kept fucking... Like, I was always in danger of death, and it did not feel good. It was actually, like, straight up unpleasant as fuck. Oh yeah! I forgot. I wanted to test this. Ugh. For now, Shannon's a Hutao buffer that also helps Shell for me. I think the meme teams are kind of like whatever. I mean, she's also definitely a Bennett buffer. Like, I definitely still consider Bennett carry to be basically about as strong as Hutao with Xianyan. But it forces you to activate C6 Bennett, and it's kind of... I know a lot of people don't want to do that, so like whatever. I don't talk about it too much, but no nobody plays it. Yeah, I know. Is that just because you have another team slot for a buffer? Part of it is that. And part of it is that he just generates so much fucking energy in those teams that it makes the biggest issue of those teams, which is generally the fact that the ER requirements are kind of too high to really be reachable. Right, like Xianyan's ER requirements in Farina teams, like in the Diluc Farina teams, for example, like they're ass, right? Like you kind of need to run Fav, but like you can't even proc it reliably unless you build a lot of crit, but you don't want to have to build a lot of crit because then you're not building attack. Whatever, right? Like it just feels like ass to play. But yeah. Anyways.
I promise to keep.
Why not Yun Jin? Because I want the team not to be awful. Mom, can we have VV Vape Arlecchino? VV Vape Arlecchino at home? Bro.
Everybody stand up.
Do your work.
Oh. Okay, that was actually just a skill issue. I'm gonna try it again.
Time to go.
The bond is low enough that it doesn't matter, right?
Transfixed.
Let's light it up. I'm going.
Wind strike. Yield.
We shall.
I mean, it works.
We go.
Is C6 required? Yes, it is. Kanaga does not apply Hydro during Arlecchino's uptime without that C6.
This is where. Everybody stand. Please, grant us your blessing.
Oops. I fucked it up. I fucked that up. That was a skill issue. I didn't charge attack as soon as I could on Arlecchino. I did a normal before I charge attacked. So I fucked up the timings.
Overrule. Teamwork is strict.
Yield.
Hear my breath.
Oh god. Oh god, I guess it works. Ah, fuck, man. I have to go test it in Abyss now, don't I? Ah, fuck. Ah, fuck. And the AoE, and the Hydro app is actually AoE with her. Fuck, this might actually be better than Yelan in AoE. Ah, fuck. Ah, fuck. Ah, shit. Ah, fuck.
Laid bare.
Going in.
Wind strike. Do your work.
We shall. Everybody stand back.
One with nature.
Please, hear my breath.
Into the wind.
Let's light it up. Teamwork is.
The wind knows.
Yield. Grant us your.
Oops. Yeah. Oh, fuck me, man. I think it is, actually. I think it is better than Yelan and AoE. Obviously, this specific AoE situation is kind of ass, because the enemies move a lot and shit. But against Triple Kenki, I could see it. Maybe not build. Oh, she's built. Like, her build doesn't matter. She doesn't do any damage. Fuck me, man. I just... No, let's try to do a full run. Because the AoE of Kanaga's Hydro App with C6 isn't actually that big. But it's about as big as Arlecchino's normal attack AoE. And if your Arlecchino attacks aren't hitting them, then it doesn't matter if you're applying Hydro or not, right? I don't know if I like this, chat. Anyways, let's probably find these characters are always built. Oh no, Freena's Lamarin Sting. It's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine.
Everybody stand back. Hear my prayer.
Wind strike.
Overruled.
I'm just gonna ult here. Ah!
Go everlasting as the moon. Transfixed. Let's light it up. I'm going in.
Into the wind.
Okay.
Savor the stone.
Like, I actually have enough damage to one rotate Tanya. And if I actually kept them grouped,
Yield. We shall.
it would also be enough damage to one rotate both of them, right? Oh,
Pardon me.
it's fine, I'll just ult.
Witness my rise.
They don't group themselves a lot, yeah. This is straight ass compared to Yelan. You are literally fucking making that up. Like, yes, indeed, it is ass compared to a speedrun from someone that has reset 30 times to get good grouping RNG with Yelan. Because they're not grouped, not because the damage isn't there.
Stabilize.
Animal hypostate.
Be sanctified.
Settle down.
Animal test 60.
I wonder if the best build for Sucrose in this team is Proto Ember. It probably is. That's funny. Oh shit, I forgot about...
Do your work. Let's light it up.
Okay, so this is a bit of a problem, but as long as I do this,
Is where you fall. Overruled.
now I can do this, and it's physical damage, and we're fine.
Yield.
Okay, we are chilling.
Wind strike.
Teamwork is strength. Do your work.
Why did I charge attack?
One with
I don't know why I charge attacked.
Transfix.
Oops.
Wake up. I'm going in.
clouds high. The birds call.
Yield. Brave us your blood.
I'm an idiot.
My full attention, did you? Witness my rise.
Into the wind.
I should redo this. Because I really fucked that up. Oh, fuck me. I'm stuck.
As one with wind and cloud. Wind strategy.
Laid bare.
Teamwork is grant us your blessing.
Oh, no. That's just wallflower cringe, though.
Overruled. Do your worst. Let's light it up. I'm going in.
Oh. Okay, whatever.
Hear my breath.
Transfixed.
Didn't manage to keep them grouped well enough, but it definitely feels really good. Like, you actually have real AoE. And, like, you're actually vaping in AoE. Why does this only work if you have C6, though? Fuck! Aww.
Time to shine.
Solidify.
Absorption test. Animal test.
The tides beckon.
One out of 3. Saj.
Let the world come alive.
Let the mighty be humbled. Gather.
Stand clear.
Did I not swirl?
Animal test 60.
Guess I didn't. Hmm. Okay, now we're just gonna try our best not to die.
Laid bare.
Let's light it up. Teamwork is dreamwork. Yield. Grant us your
Yay!
This is where we fight. Transfixed.
Everybody stand. Flame. Hear my breath.
Ah. Not quite.
Overruled. Witness my rise. Transfixed.
I'm going in. Yield. Grant us your
Wait, what? Did I? Okay, something wrong. Something happened that fucked things up.
Overruled.
vengeance. Let's light it up.
Everlasting as the moon. Transfixed.
Shoot. I can't afford any more bandages. Everybody
How did Bennett die to that?
do your work.
Okay. Woo! Managed to iframe the first spin. Woohoo!
Settle down. Order guide you.
Stand clear. Swirl. Time to shine.
The tides beckon.
Oh, this is gonna be a long fucking DPS window, isn't it? I can't use my E. I have to fucking do this. Wait, what? Oh, never mind. I'm an idiot. Huh, what the fuck? What am I doing? I guess I cleared it a little too early. My bad. Okay, here... I think I have to let it do one more. Actually, it doesn't really matter. So I'm just doing this anyways. Alright. Well... I think... I think this is a real character at C6 now. Holy fuck! Like, obviously, it's not as good in single target as using Elon. However... I do think it's better in AoE. Because in a team like this, you have to build so much ER on Yelan that her personal damage kind of just doesn't do anything. Like, it's not nothing, but, like, it's not nearly as high as in, like, double Hydro teams, for example. And so the DPS loss from using... I'll just call her Candace, but it makes me cringe, because it's always Candace dick fit in your mouth. But, like, ugh. 13-year-old brain? Yeah, I know. I can't help it. Yeah, like, you get 20% normal attack damage bonus, and you get... Obviously, depending on how much HP you can get on her, but I get another 10%, so 30%. How much worse exactly in single target, though? Significantly. Well, somewhat significantly, I guess. I don't know. I don't think it's actually that much worse. Because the buff you get from her is about as much as the buff you get from Yelan. It's really just Yelan's personal damage you're losing out on.
Let's light it up.
And I guess ability to extend rotations a little bit, because Kanaka's Candace's ult doesn't last as long. It's what, 12 seconds with C1? Yeah, 12 seconds with C1. Is it worth building or just for me? I think if you have Candace C6 and you are an Arlecchino main, you would be remiss not to build it. You should. Why not HP Goblet and Circlet on Candace? It doesn't really matter that much. Like, her buff, right? If you go HP Circlet, you get, what, 46.6% HP? So that's about 5,000 HP, which is about 2.5% normal attack damage bonus. That's not a lot. I think you definitely always want to go crit circlet so you can proc 5. Maybe there's an argument to go HP Goblet over Hydro Goblet. Don't know if her personal damage actual good build is 35k. I think that's a bit high. Like, you care about the ER a lot more than you care about the HP. Why did you level 90 her? The real question is, why didn't I triple crown her? I mean, I guess now I have a reason to, you know? No, that's not a good idea.
Wind strike. Do your work. Grant us.
Can you try that with Yelan? Sure.
Overruled.
Well, not on that boss anymore because it's dead, but you can do it against this one.
I am right by your side. But
For a reason, I guess you mean for some reason, this team looks like it feels really good to play, is it? Yeah. It feels a lot better to play than the Yelan team.
Who's our target this time?
I don't think it is better, but I do think it feels better to play. Yeah, just remember, okay? This doesn't work if Candace is not C6. Oh man, we're cheating. Let's
Here comes the catch. Everybody stand back.
wow. Like realistically, there's not much of a difference between them. Deals you on personal damage, but gains so much higher first hits. It's not that much higher. And the last hits are lower. Like, it's not actually... Or, like, you know, setups with Yelan, paired with the fact that her uptime isn't that high, mean that your average damage is actually, like... Or your average damage percent from Yelan starts pretty high. Like, it's more than halfway to her maximum damage percent, you know?
Overruled. Teamwork is strict.
Wind strike.
We shall.
The reason why the first attack hit lower is because the Bennett buff hadn't kicked in yet. When I did the Yelan rotation, my timing was I was a little bit too fast with a charge attack into normal attack on Arlecchino, and I'm pretty sure my Bennett buff hadn't kicked in yet. Wait, no. No, I don't want it to die. I fucked up. Whatever. Since when is there downtime in the beginning of Bennett ult? Bennett ult procs at a certain, like, tick rate, which is once per second. And if it procs right before you swap, then you don't gain the buff until the next time it procs. So if you swap at the wrong moment, you can have up to a full second without Bennett buff. That's why when you're playing characters like Beto that snapshot stats at the start of their attack animation and not at the end, you don't want to alt swap into her or just swap into her and use Q instantly. You always want to do EQ on Beto when you're using Beto in a team that has Bennett. I will say, I am actually, like, really pleasantly surprised by this.
Everlasting as the moon. Transfix. Let's light it up. I'm going in. Do your work. Great.
Oops. This team might be better than Yelan overall. I do think it's worse than singles target, and it's definitely going to be worse for speedrunning. But I think I'm going to be playing this one over the Yelan one. You know what, actually? Let's take a look at this with Zhongli instead of Kazuha.
What shall we do?
Solidify! I will have order.
Let's light it up. Teamwork is great.
Aww.
We shall.
Yeah. I guess in multi-wave it doesn't work as well, because your application happens after.
Everybody stand back. Grant us your blessing.
But the damage is definitely there. Wow. I'm actually like... I'm so glad. But I'm also not. Because, like, again, right? Candace is one of those characters that, like, no one has at C6, right? Like Dory, like, I don't know who else. So it's like, I am both really happy that she now has a team other than Nilo teams where she has a place. And really sad that you need C6 for it to work. Okay, let's look at, like, the worst case scenario for this team, which is gonna be single target, right? Single target, non-aggressive enemies, right? Which is the second side of this abyss, right? And if it feels good enough in its worst case scenario, then it is officially declared a good team by me. I'm the declarer. I declare it a good team. Yeah, chicken is gonna feel like ass though. But all Arlecchino teams feel like ass. All Arlecchino vape teams feel like ass against a chicken. So I gotta like keep that in mind. Ah, fuck, I think my Farina's still an Armin's thing. Eh, whatever.
Time to shine.
Mind the side effects. Remember, the tides beckon. Bow your head.
Please appreciate your sincerity. Please hold quick.
Wind strike.
Strike a pose.
Hey, we got some plunge damage or some full damage. Pog. Oh wait, I got a burst.
Be humble. Settle down. Silence.
Okay, so wait, the jungly pillar is fucking us over. Ah, fuck. Okay. Okay, I guess that's something that we gotta keep in mind.
Solidify.
I didn't think about that.
We shall
It's very slow, yeah. I mean, we basically didn't get a single vape, so of course it's slow. Please let me dash out. Thank you.
let my name echo in.
Be sanctified. Taking a turn for the better.
Strike a pose. Ridiculous. Time to shine.
Let the mighty be humble. Huh. Silence.
Hmm.
Transfix. Let's light it up. Teamwork is dreamwork.
Wait, I'm an idiot. I put the pillars close again. Why did I do that? I'm too used to, like, going sideways to put the pillar down.
Let's light it up. Lake bare. Everybody stand back. Do your work.
I only got half bonds. Okay, bro. Like, it definitely wasn't as good, but, like, it wasn't bad either. I'm just an idiot, you know? Please don't be cringe. Nice, thank you.
Solidify.
Overruled. Huh? Teamwork is dream. Yield. Grant us your blood. Let's light it up.
Oh yeah! You can just swap out and back in and you get your Hydro Aura if you fuck it up. I forgot you can do that! Yo, wait! Wait, that's kind of pog.
Let the world collide.
Seems like an emergency. Be sanctified.
Okay, so I gotta not put the pillar in the way. I gotta remember instead of for war.
Stabilize. Order guide you.
Oh, I forgot the E. Fuck.
Everybody stand. Do your worst. Hear my.
Oh. I ran out of shield.
Overruled.
Gather.
Oops.
Teamwork is strictly. We shall.
This seems kind of doo-doo, not gonna lie. Are you blind? What? It does seem kind of whatever. I mean, this is the worst case scenario, and it's whatever in the worst case scenario. Whatever in the worst case scenario is pretty good. You know? Not bad, but not good either. You guys actually are straight up idiots sometimes. I swear, man. Not bad, but not good either. Brother! I two-rotated the fucking boss. I literally don't have a single team that can one-rotate it. And this is specifically a team that has both a lot of defensive utility and really good AoE. Like, this is good, and it does look good. It doesn't look insane, but it shouldn't because it's the worst case scenario, you know? But yeah, I'm still not sure you would even want to play a vape team over Kazuha and AoE content. I guess, except when... Except when you're against enemies that aren't groupable. I could actually see a team like this, maybe using Kazuha or Zhongli if you feel like you don't need the defensive options, right? But I could actually see a team like this being one of Arlecchino's, if not Arlecchino's best team for something like Triple Kenki. Which is... Pog, actually. Better than C6 Traverse teams? I don't know. Maybe not. The main issue with those is that you don't have a good defensive options. Right? And Triple Genki feels like ass without a defensive option. Right? So... Like, it just does in general, let alone on a character that can't heal, right? And I do expect this to actually be better than a Chevreuse team with Toma. against triple Genki, yeah. Or Yanfei, or whatever other shield option you want to use. Now, would the Kazuha version be better than Chevreuse Beneficial? Honestly, I don't know. You front load a lot more damage with this team than you do with the Chevreuse team. I think it depends on your level of investment. High investment, it should be. I don't know. I'm excited though. And as Hydro feels kind of poo-poo to manage and buff is so short, doesn't really matter. Buff is longer than Bennett buff. Or sorry, buff is about as long as Bennett buff. A little bit shorter, but you use it after, so like they expire around the same time. You're not really doing damage once your Bennett buff is gone anyways. So it doesn't really matter. What about Kanega Singto Bennett? The double Hydro with Candace? I don't really see the point then. Like, usually the reason you do double Hydro is so your Hydro units can battery each other and you can build more damage on them, right? You're not building more damage on Candace. She doesn't do any damage. So, it seems counterproductive. Candace has 280 ER here. Yeah, but it doesn't matter because she's not doing any damage even when you build her for damage. Right? Like, her numbers just aren't very good.
Chivalry will never.
Can't her skill kind of chunk? Eh, not really.
Transfix. Rain cutter. No, my sword. Going in. Yield. Grant us your.
Like, it's obviously gonna work. The question is is it actually good? I don't think it's better than running either an animal or a shielder. Like, I don't think the damage you gain from Singto really justifies... I mean, maybe... If it's either Singto or Zhongli, then sure, I can see it.
Body and mind.
But even then, right? Singto's damage is an AoE. So, in AoE, which is when you should be playing this team to begin with, Zhongli's still gonna be better. If you don't have Zhongli, then yeah, I mean, yeah, you can do this. Against non-boss enemies, you can also probably use Lila instead. My Lila is unfortunately not leveled, so I can't really show... like, properly how this team would do. No, actually, Lila might fuck you over, because your Hydro application is actually slow enough that triggering freeze might prevent you from. Yeah, I actually. Yeah, I'm actually. I kind of take it back. I don't actually think it's.
Laid bare. My guiding stars.
I lost the shield already.
Teamwork is trick. We shall.
I think we have an aura, a pyro aura. Yeah, we're vaping. We're vaping Candace's stuff.
You.
Yeah, we're losing our aura. Even without Lala E, we're losing our aura. That's not it. You could do Yunfei.
Ready for trial.
I don't need to test it. I know it's gonna work. Although, actually, the rotations are gonna be... No, your rotations are gonna be fine. I tried with Nilo instead of Candace. It works. Pog. What about DDS Kokomi? DDS Kokomi should work as well. You're gonna have to kind of wait a little bit, though. Or weave in some normal attacks. Kokomi's app isn't slower than Candace's, but it's... The intervals for Candace's Hydro app are really favorable for Arlecchino. So you're gonna have to do a little bit of adjusting to make her work.
Well, this ought to be entertaining.
Sounds good to me.
Did N1 before E, yeah. And the N1 isn't AoE, right? So you'd have to do charge attack into E and AoE, which is... Oh, that sounds unpleasant. Alright, chat, close your eyes. You don't want to see this one, trust me. Whatever.
Overruled. I'm going in.
Be still. Mind the deluge.
It works. I think it's worse because the animation's too long. Candace's animations is really quick. It's a pyro one, so don't pay too much attention to the damage.
Laid bare. Everybody stand back.
Wind strider.
Kamisato. Suiyu.
The app is better than
Adventure time.
Candace's app. But yeah, the app is kind of rough. The animation length is kind of rough. I took his normal attack damage bonus too. Yeah, I know.
Cascade.
Wait, what? Okay. It's definitely viable though. Like if you really want to use Ayato, you can use them here for sure. You probably Ayato burst first to save Bennett burst uptime. I don't know if you're going to be able to Ayato burst into Bennett burst and still get a Pyro Swirl. That sounds like it's going to be very rough. It's kind of like getting Pyro Swirls with Hydro Infused Kazuha burst. It's like, yes, it's technically possible, but I don't like setups that rely on it. Because you're so vulnerable to anything that would delay you ever, like, a little bit. And it just makes your setups not viable if anything goes wrong, and I just don't like that. Like, if dodging an incoming enemy attack prevents you from doing your setup isn't worth doing. I don't want to try Mona. I haven't really given her a shot for stuff like this. I'll just give her ER for now. I could get more, but this should hopefully be enough. The real question with a team like this is, are we going to have to delay our attacks so that Arlecchino's damage over time doesn't yoink Omen and proc it early? We might, honestly.
Teamwork is decided by destiny. Delves into
Okay. We definitely do have to delay, but not because of that. Just because the Hydro Up is too slow. I guess if we do EQ, the Hydro Up might work out, but then it doesn't last for as long. Ugh. Okay. Okay, okay.
transfix. I'm going in. Let me scribe. Fate is upon you.
Yeah. So, like, the first normal string is gonna be really strong, but the second one won't vape. Which is kind of rough. If you need more than one. Seemed like a fine speedrunning strat, but doesn't seem overall as good. Could be good with C2. Maybe. I don't know if the Hydro Up is enough for C2 though. I'd have to test it.
Let's light it up. Teamwork is delves into destiny. Decided by destiny.
Yeah. No. Okay. works, but it's not the best. Well, you're not gonna look pretty. I have enough. Yeah, I actually prefer Candace in this team. Do you even have a set bonus or just random pieces with ER? I don't want to talk about it.
Add as. Thank you for Add as.
Hmm.
Come take a look. There will definitely be something that catches your eye.
Hmm. Are you planning on covering Wuthering Waves? I don't know. I think the game doesn't really have what it would need to keep me invested in it long term. Unless maybe I do a gimmick account. So I might start a gimmick account. I heard Wuthering Waves combat is Souls-like. I mean, I can't really speak to its similarity to Souls games because I've never played a Souls game. But dodge windows are very generous. So generous that even I could, like, do some of the difficult content.
Come take a look. There will definitely be something that catches your eye.
And more importantly, there's only a very, very small portion of the game that's actually difficult. And it's one-time content that doesn't offer you anything if you clear it more than once.
Come take a look. There will definitely be something that catches your eye. We grew up together after all. Come take a look. There will definitely be something that catches your eye.
But yeah, I kind of just... I don't know. I'm really disappointed with the direction they took Wuthering Waves. Like, I shouldn't be surprised, but based on how people talked about it, I expected it to try to be so much more. But like, the decisions they've made indicate that they seem to be satisfied just being another gacha game on the market. Which makes sense, because that's enough to make a lot of money. But it's another Tower of Fantasy situation? No, because Tower of Fantasy wasn't a good game, right? Like, Tower of Fantasy just did not have good things going for it. From the start, it was meant to capitalize off of Genshin's popularity for a quick cash grab. You have devs shot the bed? What makes you say that? They probably made a fuck ton of money off of not that much effort. I don't want to say they didn't put in effort, but like, because it's obviously not the employee's fault, like the game designers or whatever's fault. But like, off of not a lot of investment into, you know, a lot of employees and whatever, right? Like, they very much achieved their goal, you know? But people that think TOF failed or just do not understand what TOF wanted to do. TOF wanted to market itself as a Genshin clone to make a lot of money off of Genshin players that were bored during Genshin dead patches. And they very, very much succeeded. They probably profited a lot from that game. The return on investment is probably insanely high. But yeah, like, Wuthering Waves is very different in that way. It is actually trying to be a game that people play long term. It's also not trying to differentiate itself from other gacha games. Right? Like, a lot of gacha players just have a lot of gacha games they play, and they just do their dailies on all their games, and that's how they spend their free time, right? Instead of, like, you know, playing an hour, 2 hours of fucking Elden Ring, progressing through the game for like a month or two, then finishing the game and then moving on to another game. They just log in on all 5 or 6 of the gacha games they play, spend their daily currency, and then move on to the next one, right? And the decisions Kuro has taken based on the feedback from the closed beta test 2 make it seem to me like that's the kind of players they want to appeal to, right? Players that already play another gacha game or another few gacha games. Maybe it'll replace Epic 7 for them, or whatever other gacha game they already play. Or maybe they're just, you know, Genshin players that are going to now have 2 games they alternate between. Because right now, they're kind of getting bored of logging into Genshin and not having anything to do. But, like, it doesn't feel like they're trying to take Genshin's players. In the sense that it doesn't feel like the game is trying very hard to differentiate itself from Genshin. and to offer the sort of stuff that is missing in Genshin. There's a few things that are missing in Genshin that are in Wuthering Waves, of course. But it doesn't feel like they're trying very hard to focus on it, right? Like, I think... Like, if I were to talk about the things that... And by the way, Zajef Daily, I am planning on making a video about Wuthering Waves before release, so don't you post this, Maj. The things that I think it does better than Genshin is it has some actual difficult content. Yeah, it's, you know, one-time content and there's not that much of it, but based on what it is, which is like basically some of the world boss equivalents have alternate versions that you can fight that are more difficult. And they're more difficult mechanically, right? And that opens the doors to, obviously, anytime they add world bosses, they can add the alternate versions. And so it gives them an organic way of updating their difficult content and of adding new difficult content, right? But it doesn't really... Like, it's still just gonna be one-time content. And I don't expect them to release world bosses fast enough for that to really be a good source of motivation for people that like challenging content, right? If you look at the sweaty players, especially the Chinese players that that could spend money on the game, the ones that spent money on CBT2 and bought like max refreshes every day, they were already doing the most difficult content, right? And it's mechanically difficult for sure, but the earlier difficulties that are mechanically difficult can be somewhat trivialized by overinvestment, which means that you effectively will only have one or two difficulties that are meaningfully difficult. You can swipe on CBT. From what I understand, the Chinese version had an option to swipe, and like gems that you purchased in that version will effectively be added to your account when the game goes live.
Haven't you heard? There's a strange wanderer in your woods.
Added with extra, yeah, something like that.
Haven't you heard? There's a strange wanderer in your wolfendom.
But, anyways, as I was saying, it does have that difficult content, but it just doesn't feel like they're focusing on it all that much. It does have an actual way of obtaining artifacts that is not resin gated, but it's still resin gated because they start with no substat and leveling them requires resin gated materials, which means that once you already have all your right main stats, there's no meaningful difference between having to spend resin to get new artifacts versus having to spend resin to level up artifacts you already have that have no substats, right? It has an actually interesting roguelike mode, but it's so awfully balanced that some characters are incredibly easy to clear with even if they're level 20, and some characters are fucking ass even if they're actually invested. Like, the Barbara equivalent in Wuthering Waves can do the roguelite mode basically with your eyes closed at level 20. It's a joke, man. So I really hope they adjust the difficulty of it. Because holy fuck, it was bad. What are the other things that they do better than Genshin, but not really better enough to, like... I mean, okay, enemies... Okay, combat feels more interactive in the sense that it's not just what you're doing, it's also what the enemies are doing. And they're not just fucking stalling, like they're actually trying to hit you. Which is nice. Like, I actually like that. I think that's good. But the enemies don't do enough damage
Something you wish to report?
outside of,
My undivided attention.
outside of hologram fights and deep abyss, basically. And so the fact that they hit you a lot and that you're supposed to have to dodge doesn't really matter, because if you get hit, who cares? The combat system, I think a lot of people are going to prefer. Like, it's not really my style as much. It's more focused on, like... It's less focused on, like, strategy in the sense that it's not about specific character interactions and synergies. It's just about stacking numbers on top of numbers, right? I will say there is a lot of skill expression in the combat, right? Like, but it's effectively... It's about knowing what your things do and pressing them fast in the right order. But it doesn't really matter what's on your team. It doesn't really matter. Like... The character's kits matters a lot less, right? You just want to play 3 strong characters. And it doesn't really matter if they synergize with one another. And the ways in which they synergize are very surface level, in the sense that, okay, you have a charge attack character. Okay, well, you want to play them with the support that buffs charge attacks. I like how in Genshin, the elemental interactions encourage team building in ways that aren't always as obvious, right? That's just a personal thing, though. I know that that's not what everyone prefers. And if what you care about is, like, combo gameplay, then you'll probably enjoy Wuthering Waves' combat more. It's because it's the start of the game that there's a little synergy. No, it's... The combat system literally does not allow for interesting synergies. There's no elemental system. It's literally just... The characters do what the abilities say they do, and that's the end of it. Right? There is no intricate, not entirely defined in the character's kit system outside of it. The combat's complexity is somewhere else, right? It's in animation cancels mostly. And learning which characters can animation cancel the best, which echoes can animation cancel the best. and lining up cooldowns so that you can animation cancels into animation cancels, right? That's the depth of the combat. And that's not inherently bad, it's just I personally like it less than what Genshin has. Basically, it lacks depth for the average person, which might hurt its casual player base. Not really. I like talking about complexity and depth, right? I think that the combat in Wuthering Waves is complex. I don't think it's very deep, in the sense that if I showed someone who has never heard of Wuthering Waves a few characters' kits, and I just showed them the kits and the numbers, and asked them, okay, make a team of 3 characters, and they actually, you know, took the time for it, took the time to read through it and, like, actually care, they'd probably be able to come up with a decent team. They would not be able to do that in Genshin. Because elemental interactions that are not explicitly explained and that overall rule the game's combat are too important. Right? On the other hand, if you have a very surface level understanding of, you know, how the elemental reaction system works, you can probably make a decent-ish team without even knowing what the characters do. Right? And a lot of the ways the elemental interactions work, when you actually use the characters, feel like they make sense. They feel pretty intuitive. And that's why I like to say that Genshin's combat is very simple. It doesn't have a lot of complexity, but it is relatively deep. It has a lot of interesting interactions that significantly affect how strong or weak things are, right? But you're more left to find them for yourself rather than just straight up told about them. Lakino's pretty good. But yeah, whereas the interesting interactions in Wuthering Waves are really more about, like, okay, I will frame count this attack, see how early I can cancel it with this other attack, and then I can figure out what's the strongest way of playing this character. And that's kind of all there is to it, right? But there's a lot of different attacks that you can use, and therefore that's where that complexity comes from, right? To make a system that can be used by a casual, but also can itch a min-maxer. Yeah, like, Genshin's system is simple enough for a casual to be able to play with it, while also having enough depth that a min-maxer can stay intrigued and interested by it.
Welcome to Mondstadt.
Anyways, I'll be right back. I am back. Oh, mods?
Finding someone to chat to would be better than just standing around. Wind go with you. Welcome to Monster.
You think the new endgame came now because of Wuthering Waves? Eh, maybe? It's not really new endgame, but... maybe? I don't know. I don't think it's like they saw Wuthering Waves and were like, oh, no, we gotta make some endgame content. It's like they saw Wuthering Waves and they were like, oh, we gotta make a new thing and pretend like it's endgame so that our players don't leave.
Staring into my eyes is ill-advised. I can't promise you'll like what you see.
Finding someone to chat to would be better than just standing around.
New endgame just feels like an event with incentive to make people pull, yeah, basically. Which is, yeah. Not the best. Chat! By the way, okay, if you ever want to contact me on Discord, please don't just send a friend request. I don't accept friend requests because 90% of the friend requests I get are fucking scam bots. Alright, just, my DMs are open. You can just send me a DM, okay? Oh yeah, and if you DM me, can I ask you a question? I will not reply. Alright. It's okay. It's tax season. It's tax season. We gotta collect our channel point tax. Give it a minute, chat. Chat, the ping redeem is actually really expensive. Okay. People do it and then they're like, they have post ping redeem clarity, and they realize, oh my god, all my points are gone. It'll stop soon. Don't worry. I'm not redeeming that shit? Yeah. Oh, is it done? Any more minus 50Ks? Oh. We got a few more. We got a few more. They gotta get it out of their system. It's fine. Oh, so someone paid 500K in taxes. Ribbozo. Oh, chat, by the way. By the way, chat. MSI starting tomorrow, Pog? Wait. Hey, yo? Let's go? Do you have co-stream rights, Klugi? Surely I do. He won day one? Apparently, yeah. Because they were second seed, right? Not first seed? So they gotta fucking get out of knockouts. Or play-ins, or whatever they're called, I don't know. Chovy will finally have a legacy tournament for once in his life, bro. If Genji gets eliminated on round 1, I am gonna I hope he doesn't choke. I really do. Actually, you know what? No, I shouldn't even say that. I hope his team doesn't choke. I hope we actually get a Genji versus BLG finals. Wait, can we? Or are they on the same side? No, there's a loser's bracket, so we could, right? Do you see this video? Is it a Rickroll? Because I'm Rickrolling you right now, so... oh no. Concert animated commercial. The fuck is that? Star Rail video. What is her mouth doing? What? What is this supposed to be? Everyone prepping for the concert? I see. No. Argentie's not a drummer. Nah. Nah. You're telling me Argentie is on drums? And Avanzarine is on guitar? Is that a guitar? I think it's a guitar. It looks like it has 6 strings. Like, really? It's a Fender? Is it? Oh. Huh. Yeah, maybe it's a 6-string bass. Who knows, right? Pilla is a canon drummer. Pilla fits as a drummer. Argentine doesn't. Okay? That's just how it is. Yeah, you're right. Argentine would fit the most as a keyboard player. Kafka violin makes sense. Jingliu, I don't know the name of this instrument, but traditional instrument makes sense. Robin Singer makes sense. Yeah, I'm saying flutist actually makes sense as well. But I wasn't in guitarist? How do you even say that word? I don't know. Guitarist? I think. And our Argentine drummer? Like, nah, no way. No way. No. Kafka playing violin with gloves. Wait, I didn't realize that. No! No! And he's playing the guitar with gloves as well. Oh, God. I mean, guitar's not as bad, right? Guitar's not as bad as long as you don't have to do any, what is it called when you're just hovering over the harmonics? It's not, is it harmonics? Dude, all the, I don't know these terms in English, chat. I just know them in French, okay? Pinch harmonics, yes, those are the ones, yeah. Because on the guitar you have the fucking metal thingies on each the frets. Frets? Are they frets? I think they're frets. On the guitar you have frets, which makes it so that using a glove doesn't matter too much as long as you're not doing pinch harmonics. Because your glove isn't gonna be in contact with the part of the string that's resonating. Right? But on a violin, that's not how it works. Your finger is where the string is stopped. And it's in contact with the part of the string that's resonating. You can't be wearing... There's... Nah! You just... Nah! You can't do this shit, man. Whatever. I think that depends on the fabric used for gloves. I guess, but like... Ugh. You're just gonna inherently have so much less control. Unless your gloves are incredibly tight, your sounds are gonna be muted too. Like maybe there's some fabrics where it's not that bad, but it's never gonna be better than without gloves. Okay, I'll add it. Alright. Refresh chat? Fine. Hmm. Alright, chat. I think we're winding down for this stream. There's one last thing I want to do today.
Welcome to Mondstadt.
So, usually, there's not going to be any Star Rail today. I'm sorry. Usually, when I'm winding down stream, I either post a video and tell you guys to go watch it, or I raid someone. Today we're gonna do something a little bit different. Okay? We're gonna watch the first like 5-ish minutes of a video, and then I'll leave the link in chat for you guys to go watch on your own. Because yesterday, for honestly what's probably the first time in like months, maybe even years, I watched a Genshin video for fun. In my free time. And it was a great video. And I want to share it with you guys, but I know that if I just tell you to go watch it, not as many of you are going to go watch it as if I tease you guys a little bit with the start of it. So, this is How I Beat Genshin Impact in Only 3 Weeks by Eeks. And I actually really enjoyed this video. It's a great video. I will tell you, okay? Do not scroll down and read the comments while you're watching or before watching it. You will get spoiled on some things that are actually more fun to find out directly in the video. But yeah, so
How do you beat Genshin Impact? Genshin is a live service game.
we're gonna watch the first 5 minutes, and then I'll let you guys go finish it on your own.
How do you beat Genshin Impact? Genshin is a live service game with updates coming out every 6 weeks, and the game is meant to be played for months or years at a time, or if you're me, forever. The definition of beating Genshin Impact may change from person to person. Maybe they think it's collecting every single character or weapon, okay rich guy, or maybe it's completing all the Archon and story quests, but the majority of players would say it is completing the Spiral Abyss. A series of combat trials starting from floor 1, getting progressively more difficult as you go deeper and deeper within. With the final, most difficult level being floor 12, where you need 2 teams of 4, completely decked out in high quality weapons, artifacts, and character levels to stand a chance. The Abyss also grades your performance on every floor based on how fast you cleared it from 0 to 3 stars. Clearing the Abyss alone for the first time with minimal stars can take players a range of time. More casual players could take over a year or still haven't cleared it at all. Your average player who plays every day could take maybe 6 or so months to clear, while a new try-hard player min-maxing and grinding every day could maybe pull it off in 2 to 3 months. Which brings us to the challenge today. I set out to beat the Spiral Abyss floor 12 from a brand new account in just 3 weeks. But not just beat floor 12, to beat it in the fastest time possible. The hardest challenge Genshin has to offer to get 36 stars. But isn't Genshin a gacha game? Can't you just throw your wallet at it and call it a day? All right, wise guy, fine. Here are the rules. The account is completely free to play. Not a single cent will be spent on the account. No account rerolls will be done. This means the first account that I make is the account we are using. No making new accounts until we get an early 5-star for a head start. I also had a soft rule of no co-op unless I absolutely needed it. I only used it twice in this entire challenge, and it may have caused more harm than help. Also, if I did decide to use co-op, it would be only with completely random players from the co-op menu. No co-op with viewers or my friends in any way. I did not want my content creator influence to affect this run at all. And finally, I would be live streaming every single second of this challenge. No playing on the account off stream if I could help it. To complete this challenge in this small amount of time, I had to live, breathe, and sleep Genshin Impact for 21 days straight, pushing myself physically and mentally to the absolute limits. This is the 36 stars in 3 weeks challenge. I made my new...
So, I will tell you, okay, as a bit of a bit of an interesting teaser for the video. I think that he did a really good job with what he was given. I think that a lot of the decisions that were made are decisions a lot of you would not have thought of, but that I think are the right ones. Namely, I think most of the team building decisions were very well thought out. You should do the challenge? Fuck no. I don't hate myself. I mean, I don't hate myself that much. Ain't no fucking way I'm spending 8 hours a day fucking mashing spacebar through quests that don't have a skip button to grind adventure. Fuck no! Also, you did something similar in 2.0. Yeah, back then, the game did not have Denjo in it, though. But yeah.
New account, and the challenge began on February 20th, exactly 3 weeks before the official cutoff point of the challenge, when servers go down and maintenance starts for patch 4.5 on March 12th. So I started my adventure as any new Genshin player would, mashing through Paimon dialogue, going through the story, listening to Venti, Amber, and Lisa's request, and shooting down a giant dragon in the worst aerial combat known to man. During this time, though, I was contemplating on the first big decision of the run: do we pull on the beginner banner? Lots of players will tell you the pulling on the beginner banner is a bait, because none of the pulls that you do on this banner will raise your pity like they will on the standard banner or on a limited banner, which is true. But the special—
And by the way, this is when I realized this guy knows what he's talking about, right?
thing about this banner is that there are no 4-star weapons in the pool, meaning we had about a 50% chance to get an amazing character off rip. Beidou, Bennett, Fischl, Sucro, Xiangling, and Xingqiu were all possibilities, and we need good characters to even stand a chance here, so we did it. 5-star! Yes! Please give me more than just Noelle. Are we really gonna get the bog standard, the bare minimum?
Miss Noelle, the names of the night.
You know what, dude?
My family hit.
I'll take it again. We got another character. That's kind of a win. I didn't have enough yet for our second temple, so I continued to do early game quests, raising my AR, and after getting enough fates, went back to test our luck. I'm ripping it. 5-star. No, okay, just multiple 4-stars. Multiple 4 stars, please. I am begging you. Here we go. Oh,
Barbara's here. Leave
Barbara's here. Yay! Barbara's here, guys. Barbara's here. That's okay. That's
Account
all right.
slightly
Barbara's
breaks, yeah.
here. Yeah, getting Barbara is even worse than it looks, since Barbara is one of the few characters you get absolutely for free, and her Constellation 1 is downright terrible. The gacha was not kind to us day one, but there are no resets here, so I kept my head held high and pressed on. A lot of these early days involved what you might expect: grinding out the main story quests and exploring the map to unlock TP points, statues of the 7 to open up the map, hunting down treasure chests, all to grab some pulls and raise up our adventure rank. I was also collecting all the Animalculus, since offering them to the statue of 7 raises your maximum stamina. The more stamina I had, the faster I could traverse the map, saving time, but also I'm gonna need a big stamina bar to dodge as much as possible in the abyss. Also during this stream, something completely shocking happened. Doro44, one of the goats of Genshin content creating, raided my stream. Oh my lord! Doro? The legend? I have never talked to Doro before, so this was completely out of the blue. Thank you so much, homie. And hey, man, I'd love to talk to you more. At the end of day 2, I had enough standard fates for another 10 pull on standard. Sick, dude. Let's fucking go. And a 10 pull on the Yae Miko banner. With just a little bit of saltiness in my heart, we spent our next 10 pulls on the Yae Miko banner and ended up with a nice surprise. Yao Yao. Yao Yao. Yao Yao, please. Yes! Let's go. We finally got it done. We got a character we're actually going to use. Ningguang I'll take you. Give me the glitter, baby. Now that we've touched the character banner, there's something I need to explain. The 3-week time limit of the challenge does have some significance. It is exactly half a patch, but most importantly, the exact duration of a character's banner. Meaning the whole challenge is contained to just 2 5-star banners and 1 weapon banner. So the 4.6 banners we had of Yae, Miko, and Xiao were not too great. Yae, Miko, and Xiao are both alright 5 stars, but they require a lot of investment and specific teammates to really pop off. And the 4 stars outside of maybe Yao Yao were not gonna help us out at all. But if you think I made an oopsie doing the challenge with banners like this, you're wrong. I knew this going into the challenge, and I specifically chose to do the challenge on these banners, all right? I wanted to seriously challenge myself to see if I could pull this off without using some of the game's strongest characters. I wanted to see if I could adapt to any situation the game threw at me and create the best teams possible with what I was given. Some may call it cocky, others may call it stupid, but it's what I wanted to do. Now is probably a good time for me to explain my thought process about the teams in this challenge. I firmly believe—
And if you want to know about his thought process for the teams in the challenge, you're gonna have to go find out. Look, I'm sending a link that's timestamped where we currently are. So please stop sending a link that is not timestamped. You can send this link instead. But yeah, you guys go watch it. It's a very good video. Drop a subscribe, drop a like. Yeah, we can also, I think it's Eeks TV on Twitch. Yeah, Eeks TV. You can also shout them out on Twitch. Shout out Eeks TV. I think they're in the process of like moving or something. I think I saw a tweet of like. Anyways, I hope you're hooked. I hope you go watch it, and I will see you guys tomorrow.